What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we have the Ultra League now in Go Battle League. So today we're going to be diving into the Ultra League Premier Cup Classic, which bans legendaries, mythicals, and Pokemon that are powered up utilizing XL candy. So if you guys don't have any of those Pokemon, kind of like me, this is the league for you. Now, today's team is actually from pvpoke.com. It is the top performing team from there, so I wanted to just dive in with a few games to get my feet wet back in the Ultra League with a very strong team: Crobat, Obstagoon, and Snorlax. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this team and these battles. Let's go and get right into it. Alright, getting into the first battle here, we have Crobat on the lead versus Shadow Machamp. Obviously, a very positive lead for us right here, so we've got to be prepared for whatever they decide to swap into. And it's going to be a Snorlax, so we will come in with Obstagoon right away. This is obviously a very favorable match for us, but I also need to be very concerned about Superpower potentially landing. So we're going to go ahead and shield this first charge move. It is just going to be a Body Slam. That is unfortunate. I will have to throw my own charge move now to secure this mid game right here, making sure I keep switch advantage. So we will throw the cross chop. They decided no shield, which is perfectly fine. We're going to go ahead and counter down, and then we will likely see that Machamp come back in. Machamp obviously going to have a fun time punching down our dark normal Obstagoon right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and throw a cross chop. Now Switch Clock is coming back up, and I am fearful they do have another tank in the back. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to do another safe swap into my Snorlax. It's going to bait the Machamp to stay in, but at least I keep my hard cover for their final Pokemon in the back in check. So we do actually draw out the Muck, which is very nice for us. This allows us to distance Obstagoon from Machamp while being able to realign Crobat to Machamp. So we're just going to no-shield everything right here. We're also going to be going for Body Slams. If I can get to a superpower, I might try to throw that right here, which I think I can right here. So I think I do decide to go for the superpower. Yeah, I'm going to go straight for the superpower. This could potentially force the final shield from our opponent, which would obviously be very nice for us, but they decide to let it go. That's fine. We're just going to see if we can get to a Body Slam in time, but they decide to throw that energy, and that's perfectly fine for us. What we're going to do now is farm down with Obstagoon, have a lot of loaded energy, and then swap into Crobat to close this game out before they get too much energy from farming us down. So we're going to let that Switch Clock go down. We're going to go ahead and come in with Obstagoon. We're just going to hard farm, not throwing any shields. Even if this is a Sludge Wave for neutral damage, I don't care. We just need to farm down as best as we can with counters. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. They're going to bring back in the Machamp, so we're just going to throw the cross chop right now, looking to fish to get that final shield from our opponent. Otherwise, it's going to do some nice neutral damage, which we do get the final shield, so now we can go back into Crobat, and that is basically going to be a good game, very well played, as we can safely shield the Rock Slide right here. Might be a cross chop shield bait, but most likely a Rock Slide, but it was cross chop shield bait, which is fine. We go ahead and throw the Poison Fang now to secure the victory, and that is going to be a good game. So we definitely did not want Machamp to farm us down, which is why I went into a losing matchup, which forced their hand to switch. Alright, moving to the next one, we have Crobat versus Surfetched on the lead. Another positive lead for us, and we will see our opponent swap out now into Dragonite. So I don't have a direct hard counter for this mid-game matchup, but I do have a counter as long as I use the Poison Fang right here to apply that debuff, which we do. So now I will come in with Snorlax. Snorlax right here with Lick and Body Slam can do very, very well. Granted, I should have probably thrown it just before they got to the potential Hurricane right here, but we're going to let this go through. It is going to be the Hurricane which lands. That's okay. I think we can get to this Body Slam. Try to force a shield from our opponent right here, and we might be able to get to a second one in time. If not, they might farm us down, but let's see. We do land it. Okay, that's beautiful. They're probably going to come back in with Surfetched and load up on some energy, which is okay. We don't have too much health right there for them to get too much energy. Yeah, only 3 counters, so that's definitely all right for us. So we're going to go ahead and come in with Crobat now. They're obviously going to swap out basically right away, which they do. So they're going to go ahead and come into the mirror match right here. So what we're going to do is go for a Poison Fang, obviously applying the debuff to our opponent. And then we're going to have to go into Obstagoon. Now, I'm going to see if I can time... Well, actually, no, I didn't right here. I should have tried to time the swap, but that's okay. Obviously, Poison Fang, that is what they're going to be going for, unless this might be a Sludge Bomb, which would definitely hurt, but it is just going to be Poison Fang. Typically, you will see Shadow Ball Poison Fang moveset right there. It's the standard. So what we need to do is basically try to save our shields for the Crobat in order to close this game out, because it's going to be close, as Obstagoon does not hard counter a Crobat, obviously, as you guys can see. So this is going to be a dicey endgame. Now they decide to let that one go through, and we get the boost, which is always very, very nice for an endgame in the Ultra League with Obstagoon. Getting the boost, you love to see it. So we're just going to go ahead, throw another Night Slash. They do decide to shield and swap back into Sirfetch'd. They have energy on Crobat, so I need to be careful right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to commit to the hard farm down. I will go ahead and shield the first one in case it is a Brave Bird right here. I don't want to get caught, but it is just going to be a Night Slash, so they likely have Leaf Blade, and they are throwing another Night Slash. Now, Crobat can survive this, but what I cannot survive is a Shadow Ball. So what we're going to do is farm down, look to get 2 Poison Fangs, which are 1 fast move away. We're going to go ahead and throw the first one here against the Crobat. And again, they did have some extra energy, so I am fearful of a Shadow Ball, which is why I kept the shield there. And we do get the shield, and we just do 1 more fast move and get to the Poison Fang right here to close this game out. So that's going to be a good game to my opponent. Extremely close one right there, so very well played on their end. All right. Moving into the next battle, we got Crobat versus Typhlosion on the lead. Now, my first thought when I see this is there's got to be counters to Waters in the back, so I'm going to guess there might be some Grass-type Pokemon or fighters with Grass-type moves, such as Gallade or Sirfetch'd. So what we're going to look to do here is apply the Poison Fang debuff and then swap into Snorlax to try to catch the Charge move, as we might draw out a fighter. So we do catch the Charge move here, perfectly fine. Snorlax can tank this. It's not going to get one-shot by the Blast Burn, but we are likely going to draw out a fighter, and sure enough we do. It's going to be a Shadow Machamp right here, so hopefully I can get to the Body Slam in time, which I can. This is going to do some nice neutral damage. Heck, they might even shield right here. Let's see what they decide to do. They decide to let it go, so things are looking good. We can go ahead and come in with Crobat now and farm down once again. We're going to have to shield the Rock Slide, obviously, but we'll have a lot of loaded energy for that Typhlosion again. And I'm still reading there's going to be maybe a Venusaur, maybe a Gallade, maybe a Sirfetch'd in the back. So I'm going to play it to that strategy right here based on their lead. So we will see Typhlosion come back in. And again, it confirms the strategy that they do have one of those fighters in the back. So we're going to go ahead and throw a Poison Fang right here. This is going to get, they decided actually not to shield that one, which is fine. But unfortunately, they do get to the Charge move right here. I thought I could commit to the farm down, but that's okay. We will give up a shield, and the final Pokemon is going to be, it's going to be another fighter, so it will be a Sirfetch'd right here. So in order to win this game, we are going to have to catch the Night Slash on Obstagoon. We're going to have to do it 5 counters. So we're going to go ahead and swap now, and we catch the Charge move. That is beautiful. That's exactly what we needed, as we have enough HP on our Crobat right there to survive a Night Slash, plus we're very close to a Poison Fang. So as long as I can get to this Charge move, which we do, this is going to force that shield from our opponent, which is going to give us the opportunity to win this game with Crobat and the Poison Fang. So they're just going to go ahead and farm down, which is fine. They do not have enough energy for 2, so we're going to go ahead and come in. This is going to be really close, but I think 1 Air Slash might do it, or 1 Air Slash and the Poison Fang. So Night Slash, we hang on, and 1 Air Slash does in fact do it. So good game to my opponent right there. All right, moving to the next one, we got Lapras on the lead. Obviously, a hard lead loss, so we're going to go ahead and go straight into that Snorlax, and we will draw out a Sylveon. So Sylveon, definitely love to see it here in the mid-game, as we can get a shield in this matchup, especially if we don't have any Go Battle League lag. That's very important. So be sure to avoid the Go Battle lag if you can, because you should be able to get to 3 Body Slams in this matchup. So we're going to go ahead and no shield the Psyshock right here. I think they might undercharge it, but that looks about normal damage, so we should be able to get to 3, as you guys can see. So I'm going to go ahead and go for another Body Slam. This is going to get us that shield advantage that we need, or we completely flip the mid game. So they decided to let it go. I get to another one. Now this is where, if they let it go, obviously we're looking very, very good with Obstagoon versus Lapras, but they're most likely going to be shielding, so they're going to go ahead and farm down. Now we're going to go ahead and come in with Crobat and pray that they don't have a fighter in the back. That would be very bad for us. So we're going to go ahead and farm down. We are going to see the Lapras come back in, so I'm going to go ahead and go into Obstagoon. It's actually a Crobat in the back. So this is still going to be kind of difficult, as Obstagoon right here is going to need to have as much HP as it can in order to win this game. So even though this first Poison Fang right here is going to do the least amount of damage because of debuffs, I have to shield this. I think I can get away with shielding 2 Poison Fangs along with Night Slash to drain the timer in order to swap out without taking any Poison Fang damage, which is my goal right here. So as you guys see, Switch Clock is coming up very close. We're going to go ahead and shield the next Poison Fang. This is basically the only win con that I can see right here for us. Switch Clock is coming up. We're going to go ahead and go for another Night Slash. This is going to force that shield from our opponent, and then we're going to swap right away into the Crobat right here. We do get that final shield. We're going to swap right away, and we do see the Lapras come in, so we're going to go ahead and go for a Poison Fang now, applying the debuff, and we're going to look to get a Shadow Ball off if we can. Now, Lapras is gonna farm down, or not farm down, but load up on energy to 2 Surfs right here, so we're going to go ahead and throw the Shadow Ball, which is beautiful. This is going to be unshielded and really set us up to potentially win this game, so Shadow Ball does land. That is a lot of damage. And they are going for a Surf right here. Now, I made a mistake. This was my mistake. I should not do any fast attacks right here. I should just stop. I need that extra HP in order to farm down. So we're going to go ahead and come in and do a counter. They were going to get to a Surf anyways, but I needed the extra counters right there in order to try to win this game. So what we're... Oh, I didn't... Did I lose? We don't know yet. All right, so we're going to have Obstagoon versus Crobat right here, and as you guys can see, CMP tie, or very near CMP tie. So if I had gotten those 2 extra counters in, it would have been a good game, very well played. So good one to my opponent, but very close battle. Obstagoon just barely went down right there. All right. Moving into the next one, we got Crobat versus Trevenant on the lead. Pretty positive lead. Need to watch out for Shadow Ball, so I will respect that if they do build up enough energy. And Crobat can really dominate this one right here as well, because we're going to be resisting the Seed Bombs while doing super effective damage with Air Slash. So it is going to be a Shadow Ball. Perfect. That is beautiful for us. We're going to go ahead and now go for a Poison Fang after we built up to 2, because if they decide to let this go, I want to make sure I have enough energy here in order to get off a charge move versus whatever's going to be coming in. So we're just going to go ahead and farm down. Now, I'm prepared for them to bring in a counter, which is going to be a Whale so I'm going to go ahead and go for Poison Fang right here, applying the debuff, which will force them to swap out, and then we're going to go ahead and go into Snorlax. Now, the swap out is because they do have a Heracross in the back, so thankfully we kept Crobat alive. Heracross would have destroyed our whole team if we didn't do so, which is why I swapped out right there, and we will see. We're going to go for Body Slams. Now, they're going to have to throw the Mega Horn right here in order to take us out. So hopefully this is Mega Horn and they don't undercharge it, because I would really hate for them to have energy, and they decided to not undercharge it, so that's fine. I'm going to come in with Crobat right here and completely farm down. Because it is Bug Flying, the Air Slashes right here are going to absolutely destroy, so we do take it down. We will apply another Poison Fang debuff, which is a beautiful setup here for Obstagoon to close this game out, as counters will be doing super effective damage. So we're just going to go ahead and swap to it, but the switch clock's not up yet, so we'll let Crobat go down, save our shield for Obstagoon, and then close this game out basically with counter right here. So that is going to be a good game, very well played to my opponent. So we'll go for Night Slash. Even though Cross Chop does do super effective damage, Night Slash has a chance to proc, and it's just going to do enough anyways, but they decided to surrender. So good game to my opponent. All right, moving to the next one, we got Crobat versus Cavalier, another very positive lead for us. We see them swap into Roserade, another positive matchup for us. Now, I make a slight mistake right here. I should apply this debuff without overcharging, without doing an excellent, because it just did far too much damage. So what we're going to do is we're going to swap into Snorlax to catch the charge move right here in order to allow us to align Crobat back into Cavalier, obviously. So we're going to go ahead and load up on energy. Now we need to be careful about Leaf Storm. Leaf Storm is going to hurt. It's neutral, but I don't think it'll take us out, and it was a Leaf Storm. So thankfully, this is a beautiful setup right here. You guys are going to see Cavalier come back in. Maybe get 3 counters in, which is fine. We do get a Body Slam off, even though this is resisted. That extra chip damage is always nice. And then we can bring Crobat back into Cavalier right here. So Switch Clock is coming back up. Now, I clicked it way too fast. That was a mistake on my end. I forgot that I was misaligned when it comes to Switch Clocks. So they were able to swap out right away. So this Crobat right here is going to eat some Powder Snows, but thankfully we get off the Poison Fang and we can come in with Obstagoon now and kind of clean this game up. So they'll be spamming Icicle Spear right here, which is fine. I'm not too worried. It doesn't do too much damage. So we're just going to overload a bit, and then I want them to basically nearly take out my Obstagoon before I take out the Whaleren. So let's see how we play this out. We're going to load up, go for a Night Slash right here. I don't think this is going to be enough to take them out if they decide to no shield, which is actually going to be perfectly fine for me. That means I can farm down, and then I should be able... Well, they decided to surrender. So good game, very well played. All right, moving to the next one, we got Crobat versus Poliwrath on the lead. Another positive lead matchup right here. We're going to see them swap out in the Crobat mirror. So what we're going to do is similar to that Dragonite matchup we saw earlier in the video. We're going to throw the Poison Fang and then go into Snorlax just to make sure we secure this mid game right here. And I'm going to go ahead and build up. I was trying to see if I could catch a Shadow Ball, but again, this is a much more positive matchup if we have the debuff applied to them, because lick damage is really going to start adding up, and they're going to be forced to shield these body slams if they want to try to flip the mid game, which I don't think they will try to do. I think they're going to try to go for shield advantage from me. So I'm going to go ahead and load up a little bit, go for a body slam right here. Thankfully, Poliwrath does not have access or use, I should say, a fast move that's fighting type fast move. Rock Smash is not good right now. So they're going to be using Mud Shot, which means they have to throw energy in order to take out my Snorlax, which means I can get off a few body slams or superpowers right here. So that's exactly what we're going to try to do. Now, they're obviously going to overload on energy. That way they can get off Scald or Ice Punch or Hydro Pump to my Crobat, but they're going to have to throw a charge move here against me, so I'm going to go ahead and go for a body slam. Now, I did it a bit late. It would have been much better if I could throw that earlier, but they're going to go ahead and throw the Dynamic Punch, which takes us out perfectly fine. We're going to bring in the Crobat now, and they're going to go ahead and throw a charge move. Now, I don't know what they have in the back, but I'm going to save my shields. Ice Punch will not KO me. We can survive. It hurts, and we do see that they have a Kanto Muck in the back. So we're going to throw a Poison Fang right here to, once again, debuff them. It's always a beautiful setup with Crobat into Obstagoon. And then we're going to come in with that Obstagoon right here and go for Night Slashes. Now, Kanto Mucks typically run with Poison Jab, Thunder Punch, and Dark Pulse, which means they're going to be spamming Thunder Punch at me, which doesn't do too much damage right here. So we are looking very good. We're just going to go for non-stop Night Slashes right here and close this game out. We do need to be concerned about the potential energy there on Poliwrath, but honestly, I think we can handle it. We still have 2 shields. We still have Crobat with a decent amount of HP in order to air slash down the Poliwrath. So we'll just go for another Night Slash right here versus the Muck. Get them out of there. That way we are not within range of Mud Shot Farm Down, which would be very dangerous, and we get another boost right here. So we're going to go ahead and finish this game with Obstagoon, obviously forcing shields here with Night Slash, but because we do have 2 shields of our own, I think we can counter down in time, and they're not going to be able to Mud Shot us down before we counter them down. So we're going to go ahead, double shield right here, even though a better win condition is with Crobat, right? An Air Slash and 2 shields. Obstagoon got the boost, so obviously it was a put me in coach moment, and he really wanted to finish this one off for us. So we're going to go ahead and counter down, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played to my opponent right there. So hope you guys enjoyed today's team. It was a lot of fun. Crobat, Obstagoon, Snorlax, pretty strong, top performing team on pvpoke. So like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.